ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend wants to learn the truth about our breakup, so I told her.
You can handle the truth.
My ex and I started dating my freshman year, and we were together for 3 years. Wowee. He was a complete jerk and borderline abusive pretty much the entire time. The final straw was when I found out he had been physically and emotionally cheating on me with one of my casual friends for months. By the way, this comes from Jellyfish33333, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So when I confronted him about it, he tried to lie and squirm his way out of it, and when I eventually dragged the truth out of him, he ended up blaming me for a variety of reasons. He was one of those people who's very charming and manipulative and can't fathom himself doing anything wrong. The worst part is that I was still buying his BS at this point, and I even broke up with him reluctantly, telling him I loved him and tried to spare his feelings. This was almost a year ago. After the breakup, he moved a couple towns over for work, and I went completely no contact. As time passed, I finally came to my senses. I realized I only loved him because of the reality he was gaslighting onto me, and all those little times he hurt me that I just let slide seemed much more malicious. My friends told me that some of the things he was telling me towards the end, the truth, were lies as well. It was so much worse than I had been led to believe. I didn't see how contacting him would help anything, so I just kept my feelings bottled up. I grew bitter and resentful of him and very angry that I had spent so much of my college life with this jerk. So flash forward to 4th of July weekend, I was out with some of my friends and we were drinking and having a great time. At one point, my friend poked me with a concerned look on her face, and as I turned around, I see my ex with his arm around a girl, confidently heading towards me.
It's like the theme from Jaws starts to play.
I was kind of in shock, and I backed away as he went for a hug. He seemed flustered, but introduced the girl he was with and asked how I'd been doing. I'm usually calm and collected, but I was wasted and completely lost my cool. I called him an effing a-hole and asked how he had the audacity to walk right up to me after what he did to me. They both stood there and just stared at me. Thankfully, my friends grabbed me and led me out of the bar before I said/did something worse. They took me home, calmed me down, and one of my friends stayed the night with me to make sure I was all right. That's a nice friend. I wish I handled the situation better. While we were together, he told me about how all his exes ended up being crazy. Sure, it had nothing to do with him being an insufferable a-hole, and it was pretty likely that I was added to that list, especially after the incident. As far as he was concerned, we had ended it on good terms.
Isn't it funny how that works when like the people who were just the worst,
the people who mistreat you and they're like, oh no, we're chill.
Yeah. Why aren't we hanging out anymore? Hey, what's going on? I never see you anymore. Oh, it's because we broke up, you freaking idiot.
Yesterday, I got a Facebook message from the girl he was with. She said she was his girlfriend and that they met during a Thanksgiving party and have been dating since. She told me he had mentioned me, that I was his longest relationship, that I was really chill, and that our breakup was civil and mutual because he was leaving town and we didn't want to go long distance. She said she questioned everything he told her after seeing how upset I was. She seemed genuine and actually really nice. I haven't replied yet because I honestly don't know what to say. My first instinct was to tell her to talk to him about it, but I know he's already lying to her. Our breakup was civil, but only because I was a spineless jellyfish and didn't stand up for myself. I had no idea he was moving until a couple of weeks after the breakup.
Oh, okay, wait, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted there, but now I understand why he's like, I thought we were cool.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm sure he also was a complete piece of work, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it probably was like, he was like, oh, like, we gotta break up. And it was probably nice during the breakup or something along those lines, but still it doesn't excuse all of the stuff that probably happened during the relationship.
No, of course not. I think it was more he's being informed off of OP's reaction.
Yes.
OP said I didn't really do, I didn't let him have it or anything. I was amicable. So why wouldn't he think it was okay?
Because he doesn't use his brain. And if she probes him about it, he'll probably lie more to cover it up. Honestly, leaving him was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like I said, he was very charming and manipulative, and a lot of people couldn't believe that he'd be so horrible to someone, including myself. myself. I was so blinded and convinced that I was worthless and should be grateful this perfect human wanted to be with me. Then again, she has no reason to believe me. Maybe he's changed and is treating her better than he treated me. I'd be potentially ruining a good relationship for no reason. So what do you guys think? Do I reply and tell her the truth? Do I reply to her and tell her to talk to him? Or do I just completely ignore the message?
John, we're going to get back to the story, but I got to tell you, I've been loving these pearls that I got in Colombia.
You are a delicious beaded man now.
I do feel more confident at the very least, but I think these pearls pale in the amount of confidence an OK Storytime membership can get you.
That's right. You get 60 plus hours a month of exclusive live stream content. That's advice that'll make you the best version of yourself.
And it's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Crack open that oyster and get the blues. But let's get back to the story.
And there are some comments. I mean, honestly, you can, if you want to just ignore it. That's totally within your right. But I think that the fact that she is asking, I feel like means there might be something already happening.
Yeah, that is a good point. It's like, it's one thing to just do it out of the blue, but if you're being directly asked,
Yeah.
that's a different vibe.
Yeah, I think she knows something's up already.
Yeah.
So I think you could tell her the truth.
Yeah, if it does blow up the relationship, it's not like, I don't
it's
think
not
you
you.
have to put the guilt or the blame
No.
on you for that.
But there are some comments. Comment 1 says, I would tell her the truth. Try not to be too emotional about it in the response, but matter-of-factly. You don't owe him anything and don't need to be covering for him. If you don't care and don't want to deal with any drama, just tell her to ask him and then block her. OP says, this is true. I'm inclined to tell her, but I'm just worried that I'll tell her my version of things. She'll bring it up with him and he'll say I'm jealous and lying. Which, that again, that's her decision to make, like who she believes. Commenter 2 says, I would want to know, as the new girlfriend, she's asking you to protect herself. Wouldn't you have wanted a warning? OP says, I definitely would have appreciated a heads up, especially since it's still early enough in the relationship that she can leave without much sunken cost. Update. Hi guys, I just wanted to thank everyone for the support and insight on this whole thing. I really appreciate it. Also, I decided to give people names, so I'll call my ex Nate and his new girlfriend Liz. For a crap load of reasons, I decided to reply to Liz's message. I plagiarized from some of the comments on my last post. Love you guys. So I apologized for losing my crap the other day and said that despite what he told her, we broke up because he had lied to me for months about an affair that he had been having. I wished her the best and I was pretty nervous after I sent it, so I logged out of Facebook, turned off the notifications, and went to work. That evening, I got back on and saw that Liz had replied within an hour of it being sent. She thanked me for answering and she'd reached out because she started to have weird feeling about Nate. After he swore he had no idea what my outburst was about, she also asked me why he talked so fondly of our relationship/breakup, if this was really what happened, and if I knew anything about Sarah.
Oh.
Ooh, who's Sarah?
Who's Sarah?
Sarah was the girl Nate cheated on me with.
That's
who seems to be still around.
That's Sarah.
I still have a lot of anger towards her. I was always super nice to her, and she knew Nate and I had been together for almost 2 years, and that I was embarrassingly in love with him when they started essentially dating. It's kind of irrational and misplaced because I know she doesn't owe me anything, but yeah, apparently Sarah is still very much in the picture. Yikes. Liz says she and Nate have had multiple discussions about the appropriateness of their relationship, but she can't ask about it anymore because he just shuts it down. Ugh. I could just picture him doing his little "a relationship can't exist without trust" spiel. After thinking it over, I said that I couldn't explain why he told her that. I could only speak from my own experience, but I found both Nate and Sarah to be untrustworthy. And I also told her that while I hope for her sake that the relationship is now platonic, and I'm still questioning this decision, that she was the girl Nate cheated on me with. I told her to trust her instincts and apologize for being the bearer of worrying news. But I am the bearer of good news because you guys can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search up OK Storytime. Great news. And there's a little bit left to the story, but I think that you did the right thing.
Yes.
I think that you did the right thing.
Correct.
And now Liz is fully informed. And we know that Sarah's still in the picture, and that's no bueno.
Yeah, crazy to me that he's like, the relationship is built on trust. Like, you can trust me to cheat on you with Sarah. I did it last time. I'll do it again.
He's a little liar, he is.
He's a little cheeky.
Little cheeky liar. yeah. But there's a little bit left. I was thinking of waiting for her to reply so I'd have more for this update, but it's been a couple of days and I don't really know what she'd have to say to me anyway. I'm just super anxious and find myself thinking about her a lot. It's almost like going back in time and telling little 18-year-old OP that Nate would probably make the next few years of my life miserable if I stayed with him. Knowing me, I would have been heartbroken, so I just really hope that Liz is okay. And commenter 1 says, Liz already had her doubts about her and Nate's relationship, or she wouldn't have messaged you in the first place.
Exactly.
You did the right thing without coming across as petty or jealous. Good for you. Hopefully Liz is okay, but you did the right thing. And commenter 2, you may not ever get closure from Liz about what happened with her and Nate, but rest assured that you've done the right thing by answering honestly and respectfully. If Liz does break up with him, I wouldn't be surprised if Nate blames the whole thing on you being a crazy ex who tries to sabotage his future relationships because you're still in love with him. Have a game plan for if you run into him in public again, especially if he's belligerent or threatens you. You have done nothing wrong here, but being prepared never hurts. Cheers to living life free from cheating, lying, F-whistles. But that is the end of that story.